frustrated with training legs at home? Ritfit may have just dropped the solution, a big budget 2-in-1 leg machine. The No Fake channel, checking in. Jonathan here, and the biggest reservation so many people have when taking that leap to go full-time with their home gym has to be leg day. It's just hard to let go of those beloved leg day machines. Well, did Ritfit just release the solution, a 2-in-1 leg press hack squat home gym machine for under $800, half of what the nearest competition charges. I can already hear you keyboard warriors typing in the comments below, so let's address the elephant in the room, and that's squats. No one's arguing, and I mean nobody is arguing that squats are just the #1 best, most fantastic leg day exercise ever created. I'll give you that. But squats get boring fairly quickly in your programming. And if you just happen to be an old timer like yours truly, if you've got a bad back or bad knees, unfortunately, hitting depth with a heavy barbell on your back just isn't in the cards. Now, the solution isn't to skip leg day, but as we know, purchasing leg machines for your home gym not only takes up a ton of space, but it's quite costly as well. Just a little bit about Ritfit. They are a budget. And I do mean budget home gym equipment company that sells stuff off of their website, Amazon, as well as Walmart with steep discounts. Now, some of their products are absolute trash, but some of their items are downright phenomenal, especially considering the price points that they're sold at. And that's why I've been using the Ritfit all-in-one hack squat leg press machine for 5 weeks now so that I can pull back the curtain and deliver an honest review for you. Is this Ritfit a fantastic, amazing deal, or is it just complete? Well, let's dive into what this thing does exceptionally well. The price, under $800, $799 with free shipping. To put that into perspective, the next compatible machine that's a 2-in-1 leg press, that's like the next price point up, yeah, you're looking at nearly double. The Ritfit 2-in-1 leg press hack squat arrives in 3 boxes and took me a total of 2 hours to fully assemble it, but you could shave off 30 minutes easily if you had a second set of hands. Now, it does seem long for a home gym where space is always at a premium, but for a leg machine, it doesn't take up much space, being only 6.5 feet long and 4 feet wide. It has a capacity, at least on paper, of 1,200 pounds, but we'll get into that just a little bit later. If you're like me, and you probably are, you are extremely lazy and you don't want some 3 or 4 minute process to go from the hack squat to the leg press. This thing takes about 20 seconds to change over, if that. If you're a man's man, you're gonna wanna go deep when it comes to getting a full range of motion. But you also don't want to go to the hospital if you do something stupid. You want some safeties built in as well. And I'm happy to report with regards to the hack squat, you're able to get really as deep as you want on this thing. I'm 6'1". I tried to bottom out on it and I really couldn't. I got more than a full range of motion. I was well below parallel. However, with the leg press, I found that I wish I had a few more inches. Don't we all? I will tell you that I was able to bottom out, which is a good thing when it comes to your safety, but not necessarily a good thing when you want that full range of motion. And when it comes to the leg press, most of the hard work is on those bottom final inches. One pleasant surprise was that this thing is a smooth operator, especially for the price point. The railings on here have a very nice feel and certainly much smoother than I expected. When you go budget with home gym equipment, you already know you're gonna have to make some sacrifices. And those sacrifices for some are gonna be absolute deal breakers, and for others, it's gonna be no big deal. This Ritfit all-in-one leg machine does come with plate storage, so that's a positive. But for many of you, I know many of you, you're gonna wanna store this thing right up against your wall to save every inch of space you can. That's great. However, when you do that, you're actually not gonna be able to use the weight storage because the plates just simply aren't gonna fit. I need to thank all of you for using my affiliate links. It's one of the things that helps support the channel because frankly, after doing honest reviews, some of these companies don't want to work with me again. If you use my links, which are in the description of today's video, let me know so that I can send you a small token of my appreciation. The loading pins can hold a decent amount of weight, especially if you have metal plates. Now, if you happen to have bumper plates, well, you're probably going to want to invest in a few pairs of metal 45s. On the website, it says it can hold up to 1,200 pounds. And I will tell you, unless you get those ultra thin, weighted out metal plates, you're not even going to come close to loading 1,200 pounds on here. With typical metal plates, you're probably looking at 850 to 900 pounds fully loaded. Now, on the leg press, for some of you, it's gonna be an issue. The loading pin on here isn't gonna hold as much weight as the loading pins at your local gym. So at your local gym on the leg press, if you were smashing 8 plates on each side, you might be on the cusp of outlifting this machine. Now, for many people of average strength and experience, it's not gonna be a factor, and that's why I think this product is good for some, but not for others. Now, you can add additional resistance or just add a different style of resistance by utilizing bands. They've got band pegs on the bottom of this machine, and I will tell you, they don't work. I tried 6 different times to set these up with bands using different resistances, different techniques, and the same thing happened. Every time at the low end of the exercise, boom, the bands just fell off, and Bob's your uncle, they were useless. One issue that just simply rubbed me the wrong way was the safeties. Now, it's a safe machine. Even during my heaviest sets, I never felt in danger of anything bad happening. But I don't like how the safeties actually catch on here. They catch on these railings, and where they catch is just like a piece of rubber, okay? And while it works, it serves its purpose. I get why they did it to save some money and basically give a better grip when these safeties catch. This thing is just a matter of time before it disintegrates and falls apart from the weight on here. And I wish they had figured out a better setup or just utilized a better product on the railings. Sticking with the theme of annoying, but certainly not deal breakers, has to be the loading pins. They're just relatively low and they're a little awkward to get the plates on, but that just might be my old man with a bad back just complaining to hear myself complain. The other issue I absolutely need to bring up has to be the pad. There's no better word to describe it other than cheap. It's thin, it's slippery, and frankly, it's not very dense or comfortable. Keep in mind that this same pad is used both on the shoulder rest for the hack squat as well as your bum rest for the leg press. But when you have champagne tastes, you can't have beer pockets, and when you go budget, you know you're making some sacrifices. The other issue I found, not necessarily a deal breaker with this back pad, is there's really not much holding this thing in place both on the hack squat and the leg press. You see there's a lot of movement in here with the simple push of my hand. Now, during my 5 weeks of using this machine, I never felt unsafe and I never felt this pad moving on me when I was actually using the leg press or the hack squat. But it's a little bit unnerving that it can be moved with such little force. Now, you may think I'm just beating up this Ritfit leg machine, but I'm just giving you the full and complete rundown. Most of these issues I'm pointing out really aren't deal breakers, one of which is the lever arms, especially on the hack squat. On the leg press, there's a nice handle down here allowing you to move the lever arms out of the way so you can perform the exercise. Up here on the hack squat, there isn't. You just kind of have to feel it with your hand, grab it, and utilize it. Again, something you certainly get used to, but something that's just a little bit of annoying, especially when you first start using it. Now, one issue that may very well be a deal breaker for you, depending on your size and shape, has to be the leg press foot plate. I will tell you that I'm 6'1" and that I'm not necessarily a massive individual, but I had my feet almost on the edge of these things, and I still wished it was wider in terms of where I like to set my feet up for a leg press. Now, when it comes to the hack squat foot plate. I did find that it was wide enough. Typically with a hack squat, you are going to have your feet closer than you would with the leg press. However, I wish it was a little bit longer. Hey, don't we all? When I was setting up for this exercise, I found that my preferred position was actually placing my feet almost 30% over the actual edge of that foot plate. I imagine if you happen to be even taller, this is gonna be a no-fly zone. And now it's time. It is time for my final thoughts on the 2-in-1 leg press, hack squat, leg machine from Ritfit. Now, is this the best 2-in-1 leg machine for a home gym? Heck no. Clearly, when you go budget, you need to make some sacrifices. However, it's really sturdy. It doesn't take up that much space for a leg machine. It's in a very small footprint, which is ideal for your home gym. And I think a lot of people are going to be pleasantly surprised, especially if you're on a budget. Now, if you're 5'6" to 6 foot in terms of height, this is going to be perfect for you. It's going to deliver everything you probably want as far as your expectations. But if you're incredibly short, or you're incredibly tall, or you're just super strong, guess what? This isn't the piece of equipment for you. You're gonna have to pony up some extra money. 2 very small pieces of home gym leg day advice. Number 1, squats. Don't be afraid of squats. They are a fantastic exercise, as I've already mentioned. Now, if you happen to have a bad back, you can certainly do modified versions like the belt squat, a goblet squat, or even a front squat. You can also use a safety squat bar in order to basically take the pressure off of your shoulders, your wrists, and your lower back, but still keep you in the fight doing those exercises. And number 2, variety is the spice of life. If you've been doing the same boring home gym leg day for so long, look up variations of the exercises that you can do at home and go into them with an open mind. Oftentimes, just changing up the exercises hits in a whole different way because you're so accustomed to doing the same old routine. If you made it this far in the video,
did we just become best friends? Yup!
Now, the best thing you can do to help support the channel that's free is to simply watch another video. YouTube AI knows you want to watch those videos, so give them a click. And as usual, thanks for watching, but don't save anything for the trip back.